Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. The updated and expanded second edition of my book, The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments, is now available. Readers can expect to march with Arnie's Army at the 1960 U.S. Open, relive Jack Nicklaus's remarkable 1986 Masters win, and be amazed by the Tiger Slam. The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments. Pick it up where fine books are sold, including BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
Hey there, and welcome to This Day in Sports History. It's April 10th, and on this day in 1896, the first Olympic marathon was run. It was a tale of triumph on one hand and trickery on the other. Now, we've already talked about how this was the rebirth of the Olympics, or the first modern Olympiad held in Athens, Greece. The marathon had been the idea of a Frenchman by the name of Michel Brial, who suggested the organizers pay homage to the legend of Phidippides, the Greek messenger who ran 25 miles or so from Marathon to Athens to announce that the Persians had been defeated in battle in 490 BC and then died from exhaustion. So, on this day in 1896, 17 runners lined up in Marathon to run a course measured at 24.8 miles to the Panathenaic Stadium in Athens. As the runners made their way along the course, messengers on horseback carried news of the race back to the awaiting crowds, estimated to be 100,000 in and around the stadium. Spiridon Luis, our first Spiridon because there will be another one, lagged behind the other runners for most of the race, choosing to stop along the way to eat a hard-boiled egg and wash it down with a swig of red wine. But around mile 23, as the road pitched up, Luis picked up his pace, caught the other runners, and then pulled out front. As he approached the stadium, the crowd realized it was one of their own leading the race, a Greek winning the Greek-inspired race. And as he entered the stadium, Prince George and Prince Constantine leaped out of the stands and joined him for the lap around the track to the finish line. Spiridon Luis ran the 24.8 miles in 2 hours, 58 minutes, 50 seconds, a full 7 minutes in front of the next runner, which was another Greek athlete. And then another runner entered the stadium. Could it be another Greek runner? Another Spiridon? Indeed. Spiridon Balakis was just ahead of a hard-charging Hungarian runner. Balakis crossed the line in third place for the Greek sweep. The crowd erupted in cheers. But hang on a second. The Hungarian runner, who came in fourth, named Julia Kellner, lodged a protest, saying that Balakis had dropped out of the race and then hopped into a horse-drawn cart to cover several miles of the race course before rejoining. 3 days later, Balakis admitted he had cheated and was disqualified from third place, and Kellner was listed as finishing third. Interesting fact about these Olympics, though, only the top 2 finishers in each event were recognized at the end with awards. And the winner did not receive a gold medal because gold was thought to be too ostentatious. Instead, the winner was given a silver medal, a crown made from olive branches, and a diploma. Second place received a bronze medal, a laurel wreath, along with a diploma as well. Also on this day in 1960, Arnold Palmer added to his closet with his second green jacket win at the Masters, though it did not look like that when he stepped to the 17th tee. After 4 consecutive pars from 13 through 16, Palmer trailed Ken Venturi by a stroke. After holding a 40-foot bomb of a putt on the 17th, he was able to stick a 2-iron to within 6 feet at 18 and then calmly rolled in his second straight birdie putt to win. For Venturi, it was the second time he finished second at the Masters, beaten both times by Palmer. He never contended at Augusta again, while Palmer would go on to win another 2 Masters. In 1975, it was opening day at the Masters and the dawn of a new era at Augusta National. Lee Elder became the first black man allowed to play in the Masters, earning his way there after winning the Monsanto Open the year before. Sadly, leading up to the tournament, Elder received lots of hate mail. During the week he spent in Augusta, he actually rented 2 houses and moved back and forth between them as a means for him and his wife to stay safe. Elder shot 74-78 on the first 2 days, and he missed the cut, but he would come back to play the Masters another 5 times, making the top 20 in 2 of those. Interesting fact, when Elder was in his 20s, he benefited from a round of golf from boxing legend Joe Louis, who was also a big golfer. After this 20-something Elder played 18 holes with the heavyweight champ, Louis connected him with his coach, who tutored Elder to the point that he could start competing in tournaments. And one more tidbit, the PGA Tour opened up its tournaments to black players in 1961. However, the Masters is an invitational, with invitations usually extended to winners of PGA Tour events in the last calendar year. After black golfer Charlie Sifford won twice in the late 60s, he was hoping to receive an invitation, but one was never extended. And in 1999, the Chicago Bulls set an infamous record by scoring just 49 points in an 82-49 loss to the Miami Heat. The 49-point tally is the fewest points scored by an NBA team in the shot clock era, which started way back in 1954. This, of course, was not the same Chicago Bulls team that had won 6 NBA titles. Jordan had retired, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman had moved on, and Phil Jackson left. This was a Tim Floyd-coached, Tony Kukoc-led team that won 13 games that season and finished dead last in the East. And time now for today's Non-Sports Did You Know? To humorously protest their favorite golf club's policy for members to always wear shirts, comedians George Burns and Harpo Marx played golf in their jockey shorts. When asked about it, Burns replied, "They didn't say anything about wearing pants." That's all for today. I'll have more tomorrow on This Day in Sports History. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.